Now, toying with change. Pawtucket-based Hasbro is looking for a new headquarters.
And only Eyewitness News reporter Ted Nesi sat down with the company's leader to ask the question everyone wants answered.
Do you expect Hasbro will stay in Rhode Island?
No, I'd really like to.
But CEO Brian Goldner tells us remaining in the state is not a sure thing for his company.
Ted Nesi joins us now with the exclusive interview.
With roughly 1,600 Rhode Island employees, Hasbro is one of the state's best-known corporations, and that's why its search for a new headquarters is a top concern for local leaders. Ever since its founding in 1926, Hasbro has been based in Rhode Island, giving the world iconic brands like Mr. Potato Head and Play-Doh. Over the decades, the company has grown to over $5 billion a year in sales and more than 5,000 employees worldwide.
Understanding the data.
But its CEO, Brian Goldner, still works out of this office on Newport Avenue in Pawtucket. That's where I sat down with him to get an update on the company's search for a new headquarters. Where does that process stand right now?
You know, we're spending a lot of time really looking at what's the best way to go forward for our workforce and to create the most creative environment, an opportunity potentially to bring more of our employees together.
That has Pawtucket's mayor worried Hasbro could pack up and leave his city behind.
You know, we had our first animated film a year ago.
Goldner says staying in Pawtucket is an option, but not the only one.
And obviously, a renovation is one way to look at it. New buildings another way, looking at available buildings, and we're just in the midway through that process. Obviously, we spend time with our board of directors because whatever we do, it's a big investment.
While Goldner did not reveal specifics, it's widely known Hasbro is seriously considering a potential move to Providence, but relocating out of state is still on the table, too.
We all, in our hearts, love Rhode Island, but we also have a group of shareholders who invest in this company from all over the world, and they want us to make the best possible decision.
Is there any kind of rough timeline, Brian, in your mind, if you and the board set a schedule out for when you need to come to a decision on whether to move, whether to renovate, whatever you do?
You know, we've been at this a while internally. We've been working on this for a couple of years. So I would say we're probably still another 3 to 6 months away from a real plan.
Goldner says he's in continued discussions about Hasbro's future with Governor Gina Raimondo, who says her priority is keeping the company in Rhode Island. On Tuesday, she met privately with General Assembly leaders to review their options. Coming up at 6, Goldner explains what Hasbro is looking for in its future home. Ted Nesi, Eyewitness News.
Now toying with change. As we first reported on Eyewitness News Live at 5, Pawtucket-based Hasbro is nearing a decision on whether to remain in Rhode Island or move out of state.
And new at 6, we find out what the company is looking for in a new headquarters. Eyewitness News reporter Ted Nesi spoke one-on-one with Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner.
Ted joins us now with more of his exclusive interview.
Goldner tells me Hasbro expects to announce a selection sometime in the next 3 to 6 months, and the choice has to match its goals as a global company. After 92 years in Rhode Island, will Hasbro stay or go?
Obviously, our desire would be to be in Rhode Island, but we have to look broader than that. That's the way the business works. You know?
Brian Goldner has been Hasbro's CEO for the past decade, a time of rapid change for the company as it expanded beyond traditional toys and games into multimedia entertainment like the upcoming Bumblebee movie.
Oh, me.
50% of our workforce is new to the company over the last 5 to 6 years. So we're recruiting all kinds of new talent in this digital age, people who are telling stories online, people who are digital marketers, people who are data analysts and scientists.
Goldner says Hasbro needs a headquarters that will help attract those workers.
We've been working on this for a couple of years. And in fact, we've taken different teams through our thought process and what we would need to be a modern play and entertainment company, which is our mantra, and we have to deliver that in the facility that we all live in and we work in.
He'd also like to bring Hasbro's 1,600 Rhode Island employees under the same roof.
Right now we have a number of facilities, including the building we're in today, the one right across the street at 1027 Newport, as well as down in East Providence. You know, that for us is a big discussion.
Renovating Hasbro's current offices in Pawtucket is one option. Another possibility is a new building, potentially in Providence. So is a move to a new state.
We don't really come at this from a what's the location, we come at what's the best for the company.
Pawtucket's mayor is pushing to keep Hasbro in his city, but state leaders say their top priority is just keeping the company in Rhode Island. And coming up new tonight at 10 and 11, Goldner shares how Hasbro is getting through the first holiday shopping season without Toys R Us. Ted Nisi, Eyewitness News.